Hey there, AmyK here, 50 at 50, number 35. I can't believe how far along we are. First of all, thank you so much for all the incredible questions. You all are so generous in sending me your questions, and it's been a joy, honor, privilege to answer them, seriously. We've got a few more to go. I would love for you to send any of your questions to support@shegetsit.com. I will answer you in the email. I will answer you through these videos. And if you want me to be anonymous about it, as many of you have been, I will absolutely be anonymous. But they are a gift to all of us, as Stephanie's about to share how much she's appreciated the videos as well. So if you think that your question may not resonate with other folks, think again, because we're all benefiting from this. All right, today we're gonna do a deep dive on the personal side of life. AmyK, hi Stephanie. These videos are great, yay. Thank you for taking the time to be real with us. Good. Well, your questions keep it real. I've watched every single one. You may not want to answer this question, but I'm sincerely interested in your answer. I saw that you describe yourself as the cool aunt. I do. That made me smile. I'm the cool aunt too. Congratulations. Did you ever want kids? I'm 33, and as much as I love my nieces and nephews, and then she put in brackets, 7 total, I don't want kids. My mom is having a hard time accepting my choice. Okay. She brings it up a lot to the point where I no longer want to have lunch with her by myself because it either becomes a matchmaking session or a lecture on my biological urge to reproduce. BTW, by the way, not my, M-Y in capital letters, urge. What can I say to my mom to convince her I'm happy? Thank you. One cool aunt to another. LOL, exclamation point, Stephanie. All right, Stephanie, one cool aunt to another. There is nothing that you can say to convince your mother that you're happy. But what you can do is set boundaries. And there are a lot of phrases, magical phrases for setting boundaries with your mom. So it's not your job to convince anybody that you're happy. You don't have to prove anything to anybody, including your mother. So what you can do though is communicate to connect. Hey mom, I love you. I really want to go to lunch with you. I really want to spend time with you. And if we're going to go to lunch together, we're not going to talk about having children. And if we're going to go to lunch together, we're not going to talk about matchmaking me with somebody. Unless, of course, they're amazing, but I'm just teasing. That's only because you initiate the conversation. And you could even say that to her. You could say, I will go to lunch with you, and the only way that we're going to talk about children, my children, or somebody that I'm dating is if I bring it up. It's not your place to bring it up anymore. And I'd love to go to lunch if you are willing to honor that commitment. Then you're going to ask her, would you be willing to honor this commitment? She might say yes, she might say no. That's fine. That's her choice, and then you'll respond appropriately. If she says yes, and you go to lunch, and she brings up the whole biological urge to reproduce, or she's got some great guy or gal she wants to introduce you to, that's when you're going to say, Mom, you and I agreed. We made a commitment to not bring this up. So if you would like to continue having this lunch, this discussion is over unless I bring it up. Would you like to continue lunch and not bring this up? Now, if she says yes, then keep having lunch. If she's like, no, we're going to talk about it, here's what you have to do. You have to get up and walk away. Now, being the responsible adult that you are, you might need to pay for lunch and then walk away, or walk away and go pay for lunch at the counter. However your situation and context works. Maybe your mother always picks up lunch. Maybe lunch is already paid for at that point. You've already picked it up. But here's the important point. You have to follow through. You have to follow through on the worth of your own voice and the commitment that she made to you. It's actually a sign of love. When you set a boundary and you show yourself first self-love by honoring that boundary, and then you show somebody else that you respect the dynamic, the healthy relationship that you want with them enough to honor the commitments that you've both made. That's maturity. And so I want you to use your own voice, but you gotta follow through. Do not be that parent, pun intended, do not be that parent that says, oh, if you don't stop misbehaving, we're gonna leave. And then you never leave. You never leave the zoo. You never leave the restaurant, and you raise these, obnoxious tyrants. No, what you wanna do with your mom is say, here's a boundary, and then we're gonna honor it. Now, you also dive into, did you ever want kids? Yeah, I did. So I grew up with brothers. We were a big sports family. My mom had a dear friend who had 5 boys. So I grew up like, I want my own basketball team. I want 5 kids. I'd love to have 5 boys. I love all that chaotic joy and silliness and craziness. For a myriad of reasons, Stephanie, I had ended up not with kids for a myriad of reasons. But here's the difference. My parents are amazingly supportive and have never done anything but shown me unconditional love throughout whatever journey, phase, season I'm in. And they also have 4 other grandkids. I just saw on the news the other day that like some parent is suing their son for not giving them children. And he's married and they're like, you owe us grandchildren by now. Like, we raised you to have grandchildren. We put all this money into your life and you haven't given us a grand, like we're suing you. And it was like some crazy amount. So yeah, there's a spectrum of experiences, but here's what I know for sure. It's time to honor the worth of your own voice. And again, you don't have to prove your happiness to anybody. You just get to be happy. From my heart to yours, Stephanie. Hugs.